What's up, guys? Welcome back to Beyond Talks. This is episode 4, and as you can see, something looks a little different.
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey's back. That's one of the changes that have currently been made. But obviously, as you can see, we're at a whole different location. But I'm always joined by.
Oh, my name's Jeffrey. Hey, I was there at the other one.
So
They kept me.
enthusiastic.
They kept me locked up in the bathroom. They said you're not gonna be in this episode, and I was like, okay, what do you want me to do? Stay in this bathroom. So I did. But hi guys, they let me out the bathroom.
I'm imitating Jeffrey. I'm Steven Menino.
So for today's episode, we decided to actually plan it out.
Yeah.
We tend to go on a tangent pretty often. So first topic is we're gonna go down the line.
Do you guys want to see? Do you want to see our plan? Here it is. Pop a picture. Oh wait, Capca's not available no more. Huh?
No, I got another. Oh man, we
It's
can do
restored
it
now
on.
that
Yeah.
TikTok
Wait.
is restored.
No, not yet.
Not yet.
Whatever.
Anyway, we're gonna go down the line and give some personal updates that have happened in our lives in the past week. I guess I'll start it off.
2
'cause-
weeks.
2 weeks. Oh yeah, 2 weeks. Yeah, you're right. 2 weeks.
No, it's every 2 weeks, yo.
Yes, every 2. Wow, Joey, good job. What would I do without you? Anyway, as some of you may know that watch these podcasts, I have a daughter, and I'm very proud to say that she is now potty trained thanks to her mom. Steven, I know you're gonna hate me because you edit these, but a picture right here of a certain picture right there. Steven loves me, but
He's
other
probably
than
not
that-
gonna do it.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna edit this with you. You're definitely gonna do it. But yeah, so that's great. And there's one more thing I'm hanging on to, but I'll wait till we get to that portion of the video. That's the biggest thing that's happened. So I'm very, very happy and excited for that. Jeffrey.
Hi guys, my name is Jeffrey. Something exciting that happened to me is a special person finally came back, and I've been down, but now that she's back, I'm happy now. I'm up. I'm not with the syndrome. I'm up.
Speaking of down, she's actually down on the floor.
Yeah, she's on the floor right
she's on the floor right now. She's our in studio audience. Yeah, Steven, did anything exciting happen to you? Anything particular, like last night?
No, not really. No, nothing did happen last night.
It should have happened.
It should have
Yeah,
happened.
sounds
It-
like
it
that.
could have happened.
No,
It could have happened, but
no. Mm-mm. Nope. Sorry to disappoint the audience, but no.
So, in the past 2 weeks, nothing exciting has happened in your life that you would like to share with our viewers.
Let's see. I renewed my car registration.
I did my taxes. Oh man.
Oh,
It's $100 down the drain right there.
There you go.
Yeah.
something else that happened that I found some sad news about work. I mean, it's not even sad news because it's not even confirmed. But let's just say I might have to find another job, which sucks because I do like the job I'm working at. But still in the process of knowing if we're gonna close down or not. But it's whatever. That's life struggles.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, guys. I'm looking over to my left which is
He didn't memorize this.
I didn't memorize the topic.
outline. He didn't memorize the outline.
You don't have to explain
and
it
he
to
ca-
the audience.
And he
Just
calls himself an actor.
Okay,
It's
guys.
crazy.
All right. This is the one part that I was holding on to because after looking at the topics that we have in order here, where he, wow, what the hell happened to me? After a full year, us here at Beyond Productions are very, very excited to say that we have finally completed the script of our feature film, Fragments of Us. We did a table read last night with the crew of Beyond Productions.
So far, the crew so far.
So far, yes. But it's very exciting, and I mean, they said last night they liked it, but now that this guy is here, he can share his honest opinions about the script.
I mean, when we first did a first table read of a rough draft that Steven and Richard finished, It was so abrupt, so like they had to fix it and slow it down a bit towards the end, and they did, and it came out good. I liked it. My favorite scene, I can't say, but let's just say
Yeah, don't
it's
spoil it.
it's let's just say the scene. You'll know when the scene happened. It's because it's
That spoils it. Oh my god.
not
Wow.
really. It doesn't spoil it. They
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
That's for the audience to. Oh my god.
Steven, you act like we hand this off to someone else to edit. We edit this ourselves. We can edit that part out.
I forget Steven's a little. So
I'm
Oh.
gonna
so you know
I'm
he's a
gonna
little.
put,
He's a little.
bar over your mouth when you said that. Yeah, that one too. Yeah. I'm gonna have the beep across. Yeah. Mhm.
Steven, how do you feel about the script? What do you
I mean, he rewrote most.
I
of
know
it,
what
so-
I'm saying
Well,
is
as
it the best that you think that you could have
Well,
put
I
out?
definitely put in from the material that you gave me that I was able to interpret myself.
The therapy
I
section.
Yeah, that's what we should call
Yeah,
it, the therapy session.
the therapy
yeah,
session.
Therapy session.
Because it was
uh,
actually you were grieving at the time, right? Well, I mean, that's for at least part of it. You were still going through your emotions.
Oh,
as to what
Richard always
happened.
grieving about something, dog.
My point is
Yeah,
that
man.
it helped you emotionally expressing what you were feeling to me, so I could transcribe
Yeah,
it.
you know, like I said, I never went to therapy for anything that happened in this film. So, having being sat in a room with you, whether it be my room or your house, and just talking about the story as you put it onto words, that was something that I wasn't, I guess, used to before. But after some time, I think after the first like 3 to 4 months, I was just kind of like, we're doing this, and it's gonna be fun during the process, but we have to get a script before we can film anything or do anything moving forward. So I was like, it's either shut it down soon or just push through it. So it was grieving slash excitement.
It
So
was
I'll be honest.
It was a tough process, but
It was, yeah.
I've told you both of you guys this before, is that I wouldn't be satisfied with something if I hadn't put in my best effort, and I think I put in my best effort from the material I was given. I mean, it's based on Richard's past experience, but obviously it's exaggerated a little bit. And
Some scenes are very exaggerated.
yes, but that's, you gotta make it cinematic. That's why most movies that are true stories, they're based on true stories, but obviously some elements are different from how it actually transpired.
This one's
Yeah.
based to an extent.
Based on what now?
Based to an extent.
Based to an extent, yes.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
We had to add some cinematic themes, yes, to make sure that it wasn't not too entertaining to watch, because
Wait, you don't want to be?
no, what I'm saying is if we just went verbatim as to how every scenario played out, oh man, you'd be watching like
It would not have been a feature length. It would have
Yeah.
been a short film.
exactly, because I can't remember half the stuff that happened because of the situation that our character
We
finds
basically
himself
would
in.
have filmed the first script Richard gave to Steven.
Yeah.
It was like, what? 30 pages?
Something like that,
Something
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I like to write dialogue scenes, and this script is dialogue heavy. And so gear up, guys, because the parts you're playing, they're impactful to the script.
But wait.
So,
What's next? To the process of, we got the script done. What's next?
Yes.
What's
So
next?
what's next is
What's next?
location scouting. It is then, budgeting. Before Steven had showed us the final script, he was in the process of doing the script breakdown, seeing like what we actually need. I don't know where you are in that process. If you are done with the script breakdown,
I'm halfway there.
Okay, he's halfway there. But for at least if you're interested in coming, it would be location scouting. It then would be budgeting, and then once we get all the locations we need and all the material that we need for this film, we will have like a grand total.
You keep saying locations. What locations do you have in mind?
So
Well, we just need common places.
yeah, common
Common
places.
Specifically.
I do have some, at least top maybe 3 or 4 locations right now. This movie is very practical,
Oh wait, before you move along with that, let's just say about locations. We actually might have a meeting on Thursday, right? Noodle Man.
Oh yes, we might have a meeting at this one location that we may hopefully potentially be able to use for the film, and I'm very excited because I get to talk to a close family friend that my parents met through business, and hopefully he's able to give us the green light to use this undisclosed location until there's confirmation of it.
It's not undisclosed. I said the name is not undisclosed. Gotta
I'll
When
make
did-
sure we
when-
bleep it
when-
out.
leave it
I'll
out,
make
leave it
sure
out.
we bleep it out. Yeah.
When
Leave it
did you
up.
know about this location?
It's the restaurant.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm like,
Yeah.
because you haven't told me, but okay.
No,
yeah.
yeah,
You told me about that one.
He
Yeah.
felt left
But,
out.
wait, you're having a
He
meeting
felt
this
left out.
Thursday?
But
No, it's just like a family dinner, but he'll be there.
Oh,
so
okay.
I just thought, why not? If he's already gonna be there.
So scope out the place. See if
Exactly.
it's good for filming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we walked in, and when I 1st
Mhm.
went, then we went to go get the boba
Yeah.
at the boba shop. That just whole place would be pretty
Yeah.
cool to film at, cause it's like a mini mall, but like a foods basically,
Mhm.
cause they're all connected. It's weird. It's weird. You have to see it.
Yeah, you have to see it, and I'm sure if you're
I
Well,
have to see it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
To understand, because let's just say they're all connected somehow, and it's just pretty cool because we can just I feel like there's other local businesses there that we could talk to as
Yes, definitely.
well. To like just use just for some stuff.
And our cinematographer must see it as well.
Yes, for sure. Taquan, get ready, buddy, because we got some work for you to do. Anyway, yeah. So that undisclosed location is one place. Thanks to my mom with her keeping with the relations. She is a real estate agent, and we have a potential school, potentially, to film some of these. Our movie takes place in senior high school, and we may have a school at
Senior
our
high school.
disposal.
High school, dog.
Oh shit,
He
high
said
school.
Senior high school. It takes place in a senior high school. We're
No,
all
we need a
seniors.
classroom.
This
we
takes
need-
Where my
place.
hug at?
We need a classroom. We need a school hallway. We need possibly exterior lunchroom.
yeah,
like picnic
of a-
tables or
right,
benches.
right.
Yeah.
You know, before I met any of you, some of the locations I had was like UNLV, and I was like, that's it might be a little hard to bring a whole like production and just discreetly film because I know that in California.
I mean, it wouldn't be hard. I just feel like it would be hard to get just a classroom.
Yeah, I feel like
that's what it would
that's where the movie magic comes in though. You know, like we could film a school scene in two different locations.
Yeah,
Like we could use the
yeah.
school right down here
Yeah.
to film the classroom scene, and
Yeah.
then the student union at UNLV.
I feel like we would have a higher chance to get a room in CSN.
Maybe.
If I'm being
Yeah,
honest.
you're right. And then I mean, there's the student union. They also have a student union
Student
as
union,
well.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it doesn't have. I don't have like a specific look of what I'm looking for, but as long as it's big enough to feel like nice to
Sorry.
to watch. But yeah, and then
Artificial ice for film.
guys, we might have some
100
props
pieces
coming
of
up.
Ice.
Why do we need artificial ice?
I don't know. I just saw it and I bought it. And guess what? I bought 2 more, so we have 300 pieces of ice coming.
Artificial eyes.
So it doesn't melt.
No, it's just
No,
fake
it's
ice.
just,
It's fake
just
ice.
fake ice. Yeah.
I don't know. I wanted to buy it because they were $1. So I bought them.
With some of the locations that I have are like
waste money.
downtown Summerlin.
$3.
$3. Yeah. Downtown Summerlin. Shoot, I forgot the name of the place. It's called something. Dang it! It was such a good location, but I know where
At
it's.
the outside mall.
Yeah, it's by the Durango Hotel. It's like right there. I just forgot what it was. What it was called for the locations of the film because they have like a really good like look of, for like our shopping area places in the film.
Yeah.
I mean, and the good thing about that is this movie is so practical that it doesn't need those locations for a long time.
Yeah, no CGI.
Yeah,
needed.
maybe just to get the coverage and the scene that takes place there. But I'm glad that we're not filming like a Marvel-based movie where we need explosions and hundreds of extras and.
Yeah, well, we
you know.
don't have millions of dollars to.
Yeah,
shoot
well,
that.
I mean that
So
too.
hopefully soon.
Hopefully soon,
Hopefully in the
yes.
future.
Hopefully in the future.
With the studio that's coming out here, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
All right.
So I want to bring up budgeting, y'all. I know you guys can't really give set budget,
Mhm.
but estimates. What are your guesstimates on what the budget for this movie would be?
Well, it's funny because when I was doing this by myself, my main thing was let me just look for people that just want the experience, because at the time I was about to have my daughter with her mom, and I was like, I really need to save as much money as I can, but I also want to pursue this project. Not so my thing was, let me find people who are passionate about this and will just do it for the experience, but let me make sure they have a job and I'll work with their schedule,
Mhm.
and I'll go from there. And then I ended up meeting Taquan. I told him that idea. He was kind of on board for a little bit until he kind of saw how big this thing was actually getting to,
Yeah.
and he was like, Richard, you might actually have to hire some more people than just me and yourself, and then maybe 3 to 4 actors. And then I was like, okay. And I tried that for a year, and then obviously we ended up having our daughter, and then I kind of just dropped it, and then that's when I met Jeffrey, and then he found Steven here, and my first conversation with Steven was the budgeting actually, because I was like, okay, well, at least like alone, because our first meeting was together, but I was like, so be honest with me, man. Like, go easy on me. What are we looking at number wise? After hearing the story, after looking at the script that I presented to you at our first ever meeting, you
Yeah,
know,
what did I give you a number then? What
you
number
did.
did I give? I
He
don't even
said
remember.
to make a. He said to make a semi decent, like just like bare minimum feature film, indie film, right?
Mhm.
You're looking at about $15,000, and I was like, wow. I was like, $15,000.
Oh, don't forget, it is a feature film. It's not
It,
like
it
it's
is a
not like
feature
it's
film.
a 10-minute short film.
Yes, it's not a 10-minute short film,
It's not
but
your 30-minute original.
yeah,
short
right,
film that you
exactly.
had.
My thing is, I agree as to why, because people need to get paid, locations need to be paid off, maybe depending on what kind of deal we can make out with them, and then
Equipment.
the equipment, and then
Yeah,
all the other stuff I
absolutely.
forgot was like, where the hell are we gonna show this film once it's done, and that cost comes in.
I feel like
The
that's. I
exhibition
feel like
phase.
that's what's gonna cost more.
Yeah, that's
Trying
definitely what's
to.
gonna cost more. So we really need to, obviously, when we get the chance, because obviously me and Sarah are gonna end up editing this video, and then
What happened there, buddy?
I
But
don't, I don't know.
I don't want to cut you off, but for Steven, because he brought up that point, how he thought about the budget and how we have to. He was wondering how that's going to show it out, how we're gonna work around the budget. Do you feel like it would be better if we keep that out the budget and, like, let's say me and Richard put some of our own personal money to show exposure to the movie, or do you feel like it should be part of the budget to show exposure to this movie?
I don't understand the question.
Like,
How would you
So
keep the
would we
money
would we
aside?
just fund for the movie itself, and then me and Jeffrey, once it's finished and it's already done being edited, we would personally put our own money into, like, maybe a local theater, or renting it out.
No, we should put everything
in the budget?
in the budget. Yeah, so we have an exact
Well, then
number.
again, that's what meetings are for, right? So let's say when we first had this conversation, the budget we were talking about was around 15,000, and then it jumps to 20 to 30, and
Well,
then
I mean, if
we
we're starting from the first,
yeah,
we started at 5,000,
right, yeah,
and then we jumped
right,
kind of to 10, and now it's at 15.
Well, usually
So
films they have a separate budget for marketing, but because we're not a studio or a major studio or anything,
right.
we should just combine everything,
we will be.
consolidate it. Yeah.
We will be.
We will be.
Yes.
I
yes.
believe. I believe with everything that we've been able to accomplish. I mean, can we just be honest? This is gonna be like the major comeback we have, but just because we're kind of on that topic, Crooked was one of the only projects we filmed that we
None of
were
us like.
definitely.
None of us like.
None of us liked it.
I mean, I feel like
The experience was cool.
Yeah, the experience was cool. We all had our dislikes to it, but we also had our likes to it.
Yeah, I think just being able to run around and know this time that it's not just to kill time to, like, go to Walmart, go to this place, go to
Yeah.
that place. It was to film something, and then we.
And I feel like we're actually gonna have a schedule. We
Yes.
have a schedule
We
for
will
Yes.
be
this.
scheduling scenes.
Yeah.
Yes, we will
But,
be
like,
scheduling scenes. Yeah.
With Crooked, everyone was all over the place. I mean,
Well, we were on a time limit. So.
yeah, we had to start filming from the morning, like from 7 in the morning, but we didn't start filming till, like, almost 1 p.m., almost 2 p.m. So yeah,
It made it harder because my daughter was there. I think she was barely teething at the time, so
yeah.
you
I
could
feel
hear her
like
upstairs.
I feel like with that point, what Richard was trying to get is, with that film, we didn't like it, but we put it on YouTube and it got
Yes.
almost what
It's almost at
35,000?
34,000
34,
views
yeah.
in under 2 years. It hit like, I remember when we did when we were very active on our Beyond Productions
Yeah,
Instagram.
we were like checking it.
Yeah, we were checking it.
Yeah.
I remember I was at the mall with my sister and her friends, and I checked it. I was like, oh my god, we hit 10,000. I think it was like maybe 3-4 months later, and then I checked it again. It was at 20,000. I was like, what the heck is going on? And I was like, wow, this is crazy. I was like, this was from a 1 day shoot, maybe half a day editing, and then
And it submitted that
now,
same
yeah,
day. Yeah.
there you go. And now we're Jesus. And with budgeting, there comes marketing too. And
Yeah.
that's another thing. Thankfully, we are very fortunate to have two amazing photographers in our crew, Taquan and Jeffrey right here himself.
Taquan's more of a professional. I see the shot. Yeah, me is like more of a hobby. Because I mean, I could get into it, but I don't know. I feel like I would have to buy so much equipment. Because I see Taquan's equipment, and I'm like, and I see his photos, and I'm like, if I really want to be into that, I would have to spend a lot of money to get perfect photos and stuff. Which that's why I make it a hobby.
What do you think? The goal is to become this big company in Vegas, right? And sometimes, depending on what kind of business you go into, it's not that hard. But we're going into the entertainment business, and soon enough, we're gonna always be competing with studios like Warner Brothers and stuff. Now that it's official that they are coming to Vegas. What do you think is a good marketing tactic that we can use, whether it comes to our photos? Or like, I don't know, trailers or videos.
It's not all about photos. I feel like we had to do market videos. I feel like we just have to study how business do market videos.
Right.
And just follow that rhythm.
I think we need to make an impact within the Vegas community first.
Yeah,
definitely.
Like we should network, and once we get our crew and cast together, we'll be able to make connections with other independent filmmakers here, and that's how we get our name out within the Vegas community, and then we could expand outward, like the rest of the state of Nevada and LA probably.
But I mean,
criticizing me.
I mean, me and Richard used to just go out and film videos. I feel like just going out and filming something and then telling people, hey, check out.
Yeah.
Or like even doing a video like that. Going out into public and be like, hey, follow my page. Or just go up. Let's say a good video idea is you go up to someone and be like, hey, what's your future goal?
Right.
And then you ask them their future goal, and then let's say they do ask you what's yours. Then you just have a conversation. We film it and be like, hey, would you like to follow my?
Exactly.
Or even with that, let's say, how there's QR code stickers now.
Yeah.
Just put QR code stickers everywhere.
Or there's this thing called Dot.
That's
and they give out like they can either give you a QR code or this metal card and this wristband. So if you're out and they're like, oh, what do you do? Like, let's say you're in a mixer kind of social setting.
You just tap
just tap your wrist, tap the card, and then boom, all your information is there instead of,
business cards are completely obsolete now.
I feel like yes, because with the dot card, let's say we all have one. Let's say the whole crew has a dot card for Beyond Productions. If they can't get, let's say they can't get to you and they see me and they're like, hey, what do you do? I'm like, oh, we run a production company here. All you gotta do is tap it on their phone and it'll pop up with all the links.
Question: if you're approaching a studio executive, do you think he would be more impressed with you if you have a business card or a dot card?
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing where.
I mean, we're not saying just keep it as a dot card. We could have both. We could have like a certain amount.
But which one would you give him if he's asking for your contact?
I'll give him both. I'd be funny and give him both. I'd be like, if you're old school, here's the card. But if you're new school, boom,
Here's my thing. We've gone to the First Friday, events out here, and there's always somebody handing something out, right? And I don't know if it's because of the setting or what, but you end up just tossing it, like you'll take it to be nice.
Or if you're Steven, you'll be like,
no, thank you.
And run away. And they'll be like, hey, free Palestine? You're like, no, thank you. Run away.
Canceled.
Yeah, it really just depends. I think like when you're in a business setting, you need to think like, okay, yes, we got our foot in the door with this person or this local studio, whoever it may be. But you also have to realize that how many meetings did they have before us? What did they give them? What's going to make us stand out? You know what I mean? Like, so you don't want to just be another card in their pile of business cards they have.
You want to stand.
You want to
out.
stand out, you
And
know.
that's
So
why the quality of this film really matters.
Yeah.
And if with Taquan's camera, I mean, he has a high quality camera.
yes,
So,
definitely.
and that also goes into marketing, because if we can get this film into Toronto, if we can get this film into Sundance, into film festivals in LA, that's how we're gonna get our name out.
And that's how we're gonna market in other states.
Yeah, and
states like that. Yeah.
That's I love whenever Steven brings that up, because thanks to the LV48 Film Festival, I truly believe that that's where all those thousands and thousands of views came from. Because if
Yeah.
you look at our videos after that, just like stuff that we put out under Beyond Productions on YouTube, it's maybe like maybe a couple hundred, maybe 50. But the one that always stands out is Crooked, because maybe, I don't know, maybe it's because we're a production channel and that's our first actual production we put out, or like I said, word of mouth in the Vegas community, and just how big the 48-hour film festival is, because they have one here, they have one in California, they have one, so just them tagging us every time we posted something with their it was always mentioned somewhere.
Steven did bring up a good point where quality does matter. Like today, I work at the airport. I work 2 jobs. But earlier when I said one of my jobs might be closing down, obviously it's not the airport. Come on, common sense. like what I'm trying to get to is I showed he's like a lead supervisor for the airline I work, and he's also into he writes scripts, he likes to direct. He's actually going into school for a film, and he's a photographer himself. And I showed him, because we would talk here and there about film, like little bit, and then today I actually showed him the concept poster, like the official one.
Nice.
And I showed it to him, and I'm like, oh look, this is like, I want to show you something. Like, this is like my the concept poster that we have, and he was like, oh damn, like he made me show it to everybody, and everyone was like, oh good shit, like that you guys might go somewhere. Like hopefully, I was like, hopefully we do. That's what we're hoping, but that's basically what I'm trying to say is Steven's point of having good quality does matter, because it'll attract people's eyes and be like, oh, I'm in for it. I want to watch it. It's gonna interest me. So.
And you know what's also good as quality?
What's that?
A good story to tell.
Yeah, because you could have the best quality with the most boring story ever, and it at that point it's not gonna matter how good your movie is. So I don't know. It just it's kind of like 50-50, You not only do you have to have good quality, but you have to have something entertaining enough that a big group or a big audience will want to watch.
And let's give the flowers to Steven, because he's a good storyteller.
Yes, he's a very good storyteller.
He deserves his flowers.
Thank you.
And as strict as Steven gets sometimes with, especially when it comes to production and all that, he takes criticism very, very well, insanely well. Like these guys held it down here, and they filmed a proof of concept. And from what I've heard, our cinematographer and Steven himself kind of butted heads. But I mean, that's kind of what you're expecting when you're, filming. But that was the day of the filming.
And let's keep it real. Everyone's gonna butt heads.
Oh no, for sure.
Everyone's butting heads. Even if you're just a PA, you're gonna butt head with probably a crew member.
Yeah, catering staff.
Everyone's gonna butt heads. But that's why we need to find people that have tough skin to handle that.
Definitely.
Because and as much of an obstacle as it is that I butted heads with the DP is that, well, I also value it, because it's 2 creative minds.
Yes.
And they don't think alike, but somewhat similarly. And that's what I like about it, is because when you have a discussion between 2 people who disagree on a topic, there's always something new to learn.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And that's what I used to tell Steven all the time. I was like, if I just wanted to make this movie and do it my way, when I finished the script, I would have just filmed it on my phone. I would have filmed on my phone, found friends that were like, we're bored, like, what are you doing? But I told them that the more I sat with the script and the more I, started writing different versions of it, I was like, I feel like I'm blocking something, like I feel like I'm too biased of a storyteller for this film to just do everything by myself. So I was like, let me find someone who's willing to help me write this, but also somebody that I trust enough to write this with me, because with this story, at least, I couldn't just give it to somebody and be like, hey, write this for me. I'm going to give you the most basic plot points and work your magic. But with Steven, he really wants to listen, because not only will his name be attached to this film in the credits, but I mean, I think that's just how serious he takes this craft, his craft in particular. So he's really a jack of all trades and a master of none.
Thank
So,
you, bro.
but it's it's a very. I'm trying to find a smooth transition.
I got you. I got you.
Segue
But
into
I
Yeah.
got you. I got you. Well, yeah, that's basically what we have for the production side of all of what we're updates on. Basically, that the script is finished. Next, moving forward, obviously, like we said, it's budgeting, marketing, and what else? Budgeting and location scouting.
Yes, location scouting.
and then casting.
But also with that, yesterday we were trying to see what where this episode was gonna go. We were just talking and talking, and then one topic that kept coming back. We were actually in a live.
Yes.
We were actually in a live, and me and Richard love to have debate on lives, and even when we first had our first live with the first debate, the same debate question kept coming and coming. I mean, it's a controversial topic at this point now too. It was about the TikTok ban. Obviously that didn't last.
More than 6
last-
hours.
4 hours.
Yeah.
Not even. Not what? Because it got banned in Pacific Standard Time. It got banned around 7.
Yes.
Like because they were on Eastern Standard Time, and for them, well, not even 7. Because it would be 12. So like 9, right? 9 around 9. That's when it fully got banned. So that's when we just kept talking about the TikTok ban and this and that, thinking that it was gonna last for a
Yeah.
while.
Right.
I opened up my phone today when I got off work in the morning, and TikTok was working, and I'm like, all right.
You both have access to it again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody has
Yeah.
access to
I
it.
mean, but no, if you do delete it, you can't get it back. Is that in the app?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, is that in the app store? Like,
Yeah.
Go, I mean, he can't.
Wait, but how are you supposed to?
Huh?
So nobody can create a new account. Is that what you're saying?
That I feel like they can if they want to, but also let's say you do delete the app off your phone,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you can't re-download it.
If you go to the App Store, it says it's not
It's the
available
ban. It's
in
not-
your region. And what's funny is my sister, when I woke up today, my sister was like, "Oh, check CapCut. Do you still have CapCut?" I was like, "No, I deleted it. But since TikTok is back, let me check." I go in the App Store, and that's why I knew exactly what it was going to tell you. It says CapCut and other apps are not available in your
yeah.
region. But I'm so thankful because you sent me a new app to use
Yeah.
to edit my videos.
Have you checked it out yet?
I haven't because I need to film my next podcast outside of Beyond
You
Talks.
should, check it out.
I'm gonna-
familiarize yourself.
Yes.
with it.
But that's there's so many things we could talk about that. One of the biggest, because this is our next conversation, and I'm glad that Jeffrey had brought that up, because the most controversial thing that I've found myself being in conversations with when it comes to us as like a company is the quality. And we were talking about quality, I don't know, not even that long ago, right?
Mhm.
And I figured out that there was one time during the holidays, just recently for Christmas, we filmed, I want to say, our second to last episode in the studio.
Mhm.
And we were trying to plan out, okay, we have to edit, but then, oh shoot, the Christmas is like 2-3 days away, and then
So
New
many
Year's,
obstacles.
right? Yeah, so many obstacles. So we were like, okay, let's just release this the week after the holidays. I was like, great. And I talked to Steven privately. I was like, okay, you realize that we're gonna have this video to edit, and then that following Sunday, the Sunday right after, we're gonna be filming another episode, which was our last episode in the studio. And that day it kind of matched up with my release day for my personal podcast, and I was like, oh wow, okay, so let's see, because it comes out the same day, same
Mhm.
time, and I film it in this room. I film my own podcast in this room, and in the studio we had 3 cameras, we had 3 different mics, we had really great lighting, we had a good setup. And I was looking at the views, and obviously we're just starting. I'm basically kinda ish, like just starting my podcast, and my podcast got more views with before I even EQ'd this mic, just sitting in front of my window, than in a studio where we had more professional equipment. And I was like, how does that make sense? And I was talking to one of my friends. She was like, it doesn't really matter on the quality of like a small video like this, right? It just depends on the conversations you guys are having. And I was like, man, I guess that's true.
And I mean, it is true because I feel that when we first started with the first three, I mean two, because I wasn't there for the third one,
Yes.
but the first two episodes, we were just all over the place.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
and that's why to bring it up with Core Three, we had a group, we had another podcast which was me, Richard, and my little sister. It was called Core Three. The reason why I'm enjoying this episode right now is because I kept saying from the beginning, we need a structure,
Yes.
structure, because if you don't structure it, we're gonna be going all over the place,
Definitely.
and then we're not gonna know what else to talk about, where we're at. But if you have a structure, at least just a layout of not even scripted, like, whoa, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna say that, just what you're gonna talk about, and just follow it. It's gonna go smoothly, and it's gonna be on point where people are gonna be like, what are they talking about? Or,
Yeah.
what are they doing? Like, it's we gave it to them more on, like, let's say, oh, I want to watch the intro. Let me go to the
You're right,
beginning.
yeah.
I want to see when they're talking about budget and marketing. Oh, this is right here. 'Cause
Right.
They said, you know, it's just more easy.
Especially when you have it written down right in front of
Yeah.
you, it's just easy. Like, I mean, the transitions could be smoother, but this is the first time we've had like an actual structured out
Yeah.
video. But I mean, it's good because we're staying on the topic that we're talking about
Well,
at
our
that time.
last episode was pretty consistent because
It was
only
just
had
like one topic, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, like this time we wanted to make sure that it was structured. So now that we're on this topic, it's easier to, you know, just kind of focus on that
Mhm.
instead of
And
jumping
then
back
I
and
also
forth.
just wanted to show them, if you do structure something, how simple it's gonna be.
Oh, for
I
sure,
mean,
yeah.
We've been talking, not even worried about time. Usually I'm worried about time because I get bored. I'm not gonna lie, I get bored, and I'm like, I just want to quit the video.
Mhm.
But like, now that we have it structured, we know when to stay on time, how
Yes.
to talk about it, and it's just gonna help us in the future on how to transition, how to do basically just the small stuff.
Because like I said, this podcast could be our practice for filming the movie. Because if we're not scheduled in this alone, could you imagine if we can't schedule ourselves with it just being the three of us?
Mhm.
How are we gonna schedule a whole team of crew, of cast, of this and that? You know, so
And also, I feel like since also another thing that was like when you mentioned that yours get more, it's because you have just a steady camera on you.
right, yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like in the studio we're trying too hard to have three cameras.
Right.
One pointed at me and Steven, one just pointed at him, and then a wide shot. I feel like just a wide shot of just us, it's like it keeps the audience there because then it'll switch.
Mhm.
And some people are slow. You
Yeah.
know? Some people are gonna, when the camera switches, they're gonna be like, "What just happened?"
right,
And
and
then,
then,
they're gonna
it's gonna take
it's
them out
gonna-
of it automatically.
So I feel like just having one camera just on all three of us is more simpler. I mean, we're just starting out, so we should just worry about the simple things.
Right,
Then
worry about the actual
Doing
topics.
too much, because if we do too much, then we're not gonna see no results. We're gonna feel like, oh, this is a good podcast. We're gonna post it, and then we're not gonna get views. And
Exactly,
then be like,
yeah.
what was the point of it?
Yeah, you know, and what do you call that? I think with our old podcast, that was very good too because it was genuinely on the same exact tripod,
Yeah.
right? It was just a wide shot of us sitting on your bed, talking about everything, and then if a funny moment happened or you made a face or if Yami
You
made a
just
fade, I would just
zoom
zoom in and then zoom
yeah.
back out like that. That's easier than this way and then that way and then that way. I was like, oh,
And
shoot.
then people find that funny because they say you get the moment that was funny zoomed in, and then they're just gonna start laughing, and obviously they're not gonna get too distracted. It's, let's say we had another camera and it just cuts, and they're gonna
Right,
be like,
definitely.
"What was that?"
Yeah.
And then their mind is just gonna get distracted, and then they're gonna click off the video.
Right, definitely. No, but you know, there's a lot of, I want to say, controversial things that are going on around this world,
A
and
lot.
I was really gonna heavily base my thing on TikTok, but I'm sure TikTok's
It
back,
was funny
guys.
because yesterday my whole feed was just my Shyla TikTok, everything, all, like this TikTok, that, and then I literally wake up and I'm like, I
It's
can use
restored.
TikTok, yeah, I can restore.
You know
it.
what makes that thing whole what makes that whole thing funny is I don't know how truthful they were in these confessions, but the biggest TikTok stars use that audio from Family Guy, like, something, it was like their confessions, like, I didn't care for the Godfather, but in the in like the subtitles they would put what they were confessing, like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't use my real voice, or this isn't my real
Yeah.
mom, or we're not really dating, kind of thing. And then now, depending on if that was a big enough topic for them to confess, guess what? If they just waited 6 more hours, they would have found out, oh shoot, TikTok's not banned. So it's just gonna be on there now.
And if people were just gonna look dumb because they were really worried about an app closing, and it was like, I saw a post of this. The girl posted on her story, "Oh, I'm itching. I'm crazy." And I'm like, she was like going tweaking it out about not being able to go on TikTok, and I'm like, is that really what social media does to you? Like, how I want to ask you guys, how do you guys feel? What do you guys feel about social media? Like, do you guys think it's a waste or?
Well, no, I mean a lot of I guess teenagers and people in their early 20s, even older people, they make a living doing TikTok and YouTube
Yeah.
and Instagram.
They
And
do make a living, but and that's good for them. But let's talk about the youth, right?
yeah, there
Uh,
are positives
yeah,
and negatives.
yeah. Let's just talk about. Let's just focus more on the youth. At what age do you think the youth should be able to go on social media?
Okay, we can start that conversation with. I don't know if you guys are aware, but in Florida, the governor there enacted a law that I think it's age 14. Nobody can have a social media account under the
Oh,
age of 14.
I was hearing about that. I was
Yeah.
hearing about that.
That's passed. I can think it passed.
You
Were
know,
you guys aware of that law in
Yeah.
Florida?
I wasn't personally. I was not aware of that.
I heard about it. Wait, when did it get?
I think it was September or October last year
Last year.
when it passed.
I
yeah.
was cause I was in a long distance relationship, and so when I was out there, they were in, it was in the talks, like cause I went out there for my birthday
Last year.
last
Mhm.
year. I was out I was in Florida for my birthday. I went to Disney World, but I was hearing about that. The people I was hanging out with were talking about, oh, Florida might get
Wait, no, sorry, not last year. 2 years ago.
right?
Yeah,
Almost
2 years ago.
I mean,
Yeah.
I heard about it though when I was out there. That's why it was weird if it just got.
No, that was last year.
Yeah, that's what's crazy. But before that, I heard it before too. When I was out there, when I would go out there a lot,
Yeah.
I heard about that. So I
Hmm.
feel like it was just in the talks starting. It wasn't fully established until probably last year.
My stance on that is I feel kind of biased, right? Because I have a daughter. I mean, she's not even old enough to use a phone by herself. But I mean, I want to say I got social media in like freshly middle school, like sixth
Yeah.
grade. You know, maybe like the first month of sixth grade. And for me, I think it kind of worked out because I was already like, acting and going to these studios, and they would obviously have their social media pages up. So I knew what they were working on. I knew like what I could possibly bump into, who I could possibly bump into if I went to that studio at that time. Um, but there's so much like negativity too, though, and it kind of puts me at a standstill over like, okay, am I going to be a hypocrite and not have my daughter use social media, right? When she's like, let's say 12, 13, 14, or am I just going to hope that she's in a good mindset of where she knows the wrongs from right, especially when it comes to the influence social media has on kids.
I mean,
have you made it? Sorry to interrupt. Have you made a decision yet? Are you gonna let your daughter use social media?
As of right now, I think that there's some good that comes with social media.
I just feel like you would have to moderate it.
Yeah,
Like obviously,
Instagram does have parental supervision.
it does,
I
it
think.
does, and
Yeah.
YouTube too. So
I feel like every app should have parental supervision, but also with that, obviously let them enjoy social media.
Right,
But like
right.
just check up and make sure they're not, like getting into anything or like cyberbullying or bullying or any like that. Like
yeah, definitely. And
getting
I don't
like-
want to get too personal, but your older sister does that with her kid, right? With your
Who?
with your niece,
Who?
Jenner, when Gitu's on her iPad.
I mean, I think I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know nothing about that, but I know that for YouTube, she only has YouTube Kids.
Gotcha.
They
Yeah,
don't
just the
let her-
app. Just the app, yeah.
I mean, if she's watching like YouTube on like my mom's like phone or TV, or like any TV in general, they let her use the actual YouTube. But other than that, obviously we put the videos on for her
Yeah.
if she wants.
Yeah.
We don't let her do it herself.
Well, I mean, the reason I bring up the law in Florida is we could start the conversation with what do you guys think about the law in Florida? Are you against it or are you for it?
I'm gonna be biased and say I'm against that. As much as probably it's helpful. I mean, when I was growing up, I had social media at like 13, at 14, at the age that they banned it at.
It's either 13 or 14.
Yeah, but like I mean, I grew up with social media then, and I mean, it was way worse when we were growing up. Like I mean, I love Omigo, but I'm also glad that it did get shut down because I mean, when I was younger, I was seeing penises left and right. Like it's just nowadays it's just more like it's just more about like cyberbullying.
Yes,
Like,
seriously.
cause back in the day, it didn't matter. Like we took it as a joke. Now
It's taking life.
it's taking lives. It's making people go crazy. Like, but like I said, with me, it's like I'm against it to an extent because I mean I had social media at that age, but also that's why I brought out the topic of like like him as a parent, like moderate it more, like check up, making sure like they could put a stop to something before
You know,
it goes bad.
as bad as this sounds, I love when comedians on stage when they're on tours, they will bring up that topic of cyberbullying and how stupid the idea of cyberbullying is, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes, well, majority of the time, it is people that you know, like in school, so you can't not stop going to school, or you know, so
Yeah.
I guess there's that. But let's say you're getting cyberbullied on like a Xbox game or a PlayStation chat. Unless that person lives there or you know them, guess what? Get off that chat, mute your mic, and then for it is heartbreaking to hear like when somebody does get cyberbullied and then they do end up taking their own life because maybe they're a little too personal on their social media, so that bully has ammunition. But I forget who it was. Well, there's a comedian that was talking about that, and he goes, "You know what? I finally found the solution to cyberbullying. Let's say you were being cyberbullied on your laptop, you just close your laptop. You just don't open it again."
Well, that's why it's different. People get addicted.
Yes,
especially young
definitely,
people,
yeah.
to social media.
Addicted, yeah. That's
But-
also a reason why I'm also against it because it can be addicting. I mean, like we saw TikTok. I mean, we had people from even adults going
Yeah.
crazy because TikTok was gonna get banned. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, there's creators that are making money off of it, that are making a living off of it. Yeah, that's cool. But then you got people that are just scrolling. Like I'm talking about the people that just scrolling and live their life on TikTok. Like, it was like a drug to them. Like they were really tweaking out because they couldn't use TikTok for like 6 hours at most, 6 to 10 hours. They couldn't use TikTok, and their life went down for those 10 hours. Like
That
I don't
I
know.
feel like one of the that kind of relates to the biggest controversial topic from like I want to say 2016, 2015 of the iPhones, right? Like how they started very small, they got big, and then they got small again, and then big and big, and then if you look at the cell phones before smartphones, there were these really big brick
Big,
things,
yeah.
and then they became small, and then everyone's like, oh, they're doing the same thing, and they're just changing little bits and little bits. Shit.
Well, I mean, it's a
I forgot
company.
what I
They
was-
have to make their money, don't
Yeah.
they? You know?
No, but I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, the TikTok thing, right? The TikTok ban. For me, I'm glad that I will say I was addicted, but then especially during the core 3 times we text on messages,
Yeah.
TikTok, Instagram. So whenever they would send me messages on Instagram, I just go through the Instagram
But
reels.
you also brought up a good point with that. I mean, you said like with the phones, they would go big, go small.
Yeah,
Vine.
that's why. That's what I was going to.
Vine.
I thought
Vine got-
TikTok was gonna be the next Vine, except Vine is actually gone. Like the only places you can watch Vines are on the YouTube compilations.
Yeah.
Or,
But Vine was actually way better than TikTok.
definitely
Like,
way better.
Way better because you could watch all your favorite creators. But I feel like with Vine, like yeah, with me with TikTok, yeah, I want to make TikTok. It gives me the urge to create TikToks. But with Vine, I feel like if I saw a Vine, I wanted to copy it right away.
Right. No, for sure.
Like right away, just because that was the thing back in the day. But I saw. I'm glad you brought that up. Someone brought up. I was seeing on social media there was a post where it's like, guys, calm down about the TikTok ban. Vine got shut down and we were all okay like within the week.
You're right. Exactly.
So they're just like, I don't know.
But again, it really just depends on the generation you're in. And I know we're not that old, but I mean, like,
But it was
we
the
see
same
different.
generation,
Yeah.
though. It was when Vine got shut down. It was the same generation. It wasn't no new generation. It's
Well,
all.
Richard, are you for or against the Florida law? Unless you have to think about it, that's okay.
I mean, I'm in the middle. And going back to what Jeffrey was saying, when we do go on those lives like we were yesterday, I asked that question and they asked me that same question. I was like, if you're asking me just generally altogether, no, because just like the California fires, right? They're using social media because that's where they know people are gonna, get their resources
Yeah.
from. They're posting, oh, you can go to this place for help. You can contact these people.
But that's mainly for parents, 13, 14-year-olds. I mean, unless they want to.
Unless they
But
live-
they're not
unless
going
they
on
live in
social media to get
California.
Resources.
I mean, but see, that's kind of the thing too. There's ads, right? There's always ads on thing, and yes, you can swipe away from them, you can skip them. Some of them you can't. So even if you're, but my thing with that was, if you're asking me if social media is bad in general, I don't think so, especially with the ban. I mean, I'm kind of just, but I'm like 50-50 because if you were to break down every single part of social media, I'll say yes to this, no to that, yes to this, no to that. But if you're saying is social media bad, maybe I'm too biased because we have a production company and that's how we get our information out, you know. But is social media bad in general? Not necessarily. If you use it the right way, if you're putting out actual entertaining things, and I hate when people say like, "Man, I hate that creator because their content's so stupid." Mother, do you realize that there are TikToks and videos out there that say "skibbity toilet" for an hour long that gets
Oh my
millions and
Jesus,
millions of
dog.
views, and
See, I mean, I'm trying to cut you off, but that's another thing. That's something that I'm against. The brain rot.
yes, the brain rot
Oh
is
my
worse than the
God.
cyberbullying nowadays.
Literally, oh my Jesus. Literally, most of the brain rot, like people, like just memes that they don't make sense. Like
Yeah,
I hear them and instead of just laughing, like for instance, like bringing it back to Vine, like memes on Vine are funny. Like
yeah.
you would laugh, it would have you laughing like almost to the floor. Now with these brain rot memes that they call, it makes you cringe. Like you just look at it and I'm like, that's not even funny.
Exactly. And you know the people that are saying that certain content creators content is stupid is like if they're just trying to make like entertaining stuff, you
Entertainment, yeah.
know, like skits and stuff like, "Oh, that's stupid. Like what am I going to learn from that?" What the hell are you going to learn from an hour of skibbity toilet? Skibbity toilet.
Like I mean, let's say there is some funny ones. I'm not gonna say all the brain rot memes are like stupid. There is like I want to say a couple, like just a couple, like there's just a couple brain rot memes that like are funny, but there's most of them are like you look at them, you're like, what am I watching? Like what am I doing?
I am against the Florida law, like completely. I don't think the government should be controlling people's lives in that sense.
Yeah, because you know,
Well, let me
yeah.
finish. I think that's more of a parental choice.
I was going to say the same
Yes.
thing. Yeah, you know, I feel like and I'm not saying all parents, but we all know there's handfuls of parents out there that really don't know how to be parents, and that's not me saying like I'm a pro at being a parent.
We know.
And that's what's wrong with
Yeah.
the government today is because they're trying to act like a parent to the American people.
Yeah.
And that's not the role of the government. Here's another question: what do you think people who are stars on TikTok and do their dances and their trends and all that? Do you think now, like let's say let's not make it illegal, but do you think that people should be spending their time doing something more productive than doing that?
I mean, like I said, I feel like the reason social media was created in the beginning, and this is just me guessing, it was just for that reason, entertainment, right?
I mean, I feel like
Well,
that's
well, I mean, entertainment, but it's also, I think the main purpose of social media is for people to just connect with their friends.
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
You know,
That's
it's as simple as that.
yeah.
But yeah, then it got into creating trends and entertainment.
And people actually started getting fame from it. 'Cause I mean, like let's say even an app that we can just like Instagram, that we can just communicate with friends and family. You can still make money from Instagram.
Yeah.
Like if you become
Like a
an
influencer.
influencer, yeah, just posting a picture and using the right hashtag, your picture will blow up. And I mean, that's like the first, like when you become an influencer, like that's the first app you go to gain followers too.
Yeah, you know the biggest thing that makes me mad about certain influencers, and not at them personally, but just because of the algorithm, I guess you could say, is that I will watch some of these people that will do like voiceovers, right? Like they'll get clips, they'll get the audio clips from TV shows or whatever, and they'll act it out. They'll actually put on something that goes with that character's outfit, and they'll put on an amazing performance. Yes, they're getting some of the credit they deserve with thousands of views, thousands of likes, and it's really good, but it just makes me mad that those people are barely now just actually getting onto movies and TV shows, the good ones, like the people that actually put in the time. The D'Amelios got a reality show for dancing. I'm not gonna say still because I mean dancing is a good form of like exercise and entertainment.
But
But it's a certain dances they were doing. And I was like, you got a reality TV show
just off
for
of that, yeah, wait.
dancing?
Especially that like they're I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but like they're not even entertaining. Like
I mean,
like there's not like I mean their show probably got canceled because probably not many people
Yeah.
watch it, and if they were watching it, it was more just to hate on them.
right.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. Okay, that girl she became a star on social media for doing a dance.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, she was consistent, sure, to her fans and everything.
Because she found her crowd.
Her crowd, yeah.
Okay, but do you think that social media is the more influencers there are, the less people there are working and structuring society.
Definitely.
Literally, physically, instead of virtually.
Yes.
Do you think that is a negative or a positive to social media?
I think.
And I know we sound like hypocrites right now because this is going on social media, but we are filmmakers, okay?
But I mean, that's a hard question to answer because you can view it from both ways. That question stumped me.
Okay,
That question stumped me.
All right. I didn't even know about the California fire, and this is why I say social media isn't all bad. I learned about the California fire. It's not on the news. I'm 22. I don't watch the news. I've been having trouble sleeping. I was scrolling on social media, and boom, California fires. And yes, it was a clip from the news.
That's okay. See that's what I want to know too. So you just said you don't watch the news, but if it was on TikTok or social media, it's just I feel like the main problem with now in the world is attention
Yes.
because of TikTok. You can watch everything that you watch on TikTok, like news related, comes out on the TV, and it's the whole segment for you, right? And it can be like 2 hour long, but your attention because of TikTok, you're not gonna watch that 2 hour long. You rather scroll on TikTok and see an 8 second video of, oh, there's a fire in California, and then just watch 8 second videos of the whole segment that was on the TV like probably an hour ago.
Well,
You know-
there's the problem is that social media, social media is now its own news outlet.
True. Yeah.
Instead of its main purpose, which I mentioned before, is that it was just made to
Communicate.
With your friends
Yeah,
online.
communicate with friends and family.
There you go.
And it's good you brought that up because my family was just doing that downstairs. Not like before we came up here. They were. Could you imagine if you told someone from 50 years ago or like 60 years ago, hey, I could be in the United States and call you with a video chat from Europe or the Philippines? They'd be like, "You're a witch," or "You're crazy,
You're
dude."
crazy,
Like,
yeah. I mean,
and now it's just so common.
in the old times, like if we're talking like for instance the Salem witch trials,
Dude, we'd all be dead.
Yeah, if you said, hey, you're gonna be able to, instead of sending a bird with a message, you're gonna be able to just get a phone
Right.
and call and then see your family like on
Yeah.
the phone. Oh yeah, I would get killed.
Yeah, no, we'd for sure be
we
killed.
get killed.
And
Yeah.
now, like, thanks to you, Bo, I mean, it brings us closer to people from around the world with the same likes and interests, and some of them end up being.
And even with that,
friends.
I know you don't like going on random ass like apps, but like with Yubo, we use it like to promote too. Like
With what app?
with the app where we're live,
Yeah, what's that app called?
Yubo. It's
Yubo.
like
Never heard of it.
we use it to promote because let's say we'll start debates, we'll meet cool people, but from meeting those cool people, they like to get to know us, and then we'll have like a 30 to an hour minute conversation on that live about what we do, and then it's just back and forth.
Exactly.
You know, I've heard Christopher Nolan has a flip phone. He doesn't have any social media whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, you see Adam Sandler, you see Will Ferrell. I mean, I forgot what movie it was. I think it was a Get Hard with Ice Cube. He was saying that
Get
this
Hard?
no,
No,
right?
that's the name of the movie.
I know.
Yeah. He was saying in an interview that Will Ferrell has more money than he could ever fathom of having, right? And that's with the popularity that Ice Cube has by himself.
Mhm.
But he said that he drove the oldest car. He had, like, let's say the iPhone 6 was out or the iPhone 8 or whatever, he still had the iPhone 4. Like, that's how he communicates, through email. Just email alone. He doesn't have any social media.
Yeah.
And it's the people that you would love to see on social media, that don't
Mhm.
have it. And then the people that you're like, oh yeah, he was in that movie, she was in that movie, or like, oh, that's a cool person to, follow, I guess. Like, they have it. But the more like influential people out there, where the word influencer comes from, don't have it. And I'm like, wow,
Well,
what is
that's
this
their
gonna?
influence right there.
Yeah,
they
I
don't
guess.
they don't want you to have that.
I would
That's their influence.
I would like
There
to
you
say
go.
I would like to say the fun fact. Richard earlier was talking about we should just talk about TikTok, this and that. We basically did, and we were gonna have controversial topics to talk about, but I feel like we just had a good conversation about just one, but added our own sub controversial
definitely.
topics to it. So I mean, we're gonna give you guys more controversial topics, but I feel like we were just going back and forth with a lot. So I feel like we should just leave it at that.
Yeah, because that's
Cause
it was a very good conversation.
It was a
very
genuine deep
entertaining.
dive.
Yeah.
because we're just all giving our intake on what.
And remember what I told you
Yeah.
guys yesterday. I want everybody to be involved. I don't want one person feeling
Yeah.
left out. And we were all involved. We were all cutting each other off. No, I want to say this. I want to say this. But yeah, guys, like I said, this is a new setup. We're just trying to figure our way out. We were trying to figure out if we should have 2 camera angles or what. This camera's on my bed right now. So
Yeah,
as you can see, it's on a tripod on my
yeah,
bed.
on his bed.
My sister's on the floor because she wanted to watch. And
I feel like, I mean, just let us know, like in the comments, if you're a real viewer, let us know. Should we have more than one camera? Do you guys just like the single wide shot, or do you guys like the multiple cameras? I mean, for me, I just like that one because it's not hard on your guys' editing.
right, yeah,
Like for you guys to edit, like I mean, although you guys, I know you guys don't care, like and it doesn't matter about the editing, but I feel like just editing one single shot for all of us is gonna be way easier to sync the audio, way easier to do basically everything with, and it's not gonna, you guys are not gonna be staying like up to like 2 in the morning trying to edit a video.
exactly.
You guys would finish it more on time, and it would be more on schedule.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming back.
Oh, one more thing.
Oh, yes.
Leave in the comments, what is your opinion on social media?
Oh, there
Yeah,
you go.
there you
Yeah,
go.
there you go. That's a
I
good
feel-
way to.
what do you guys think? Let's talk about what do you guys think the title for this should be?
That's a good question. Um,
Let's see.
Shit,
Let's all just give a an opinion, like a. I mean, even if it sounds dumb, I mean,
Okay.
just give it like.
Social
Okay.
media controversy.
oh.
Social media debate.
An interesting chat with Beyond Talk.
It just got less interesting.
Okay, Steven, you're fired.
is social media on fire?
Oh, that's good.
That's
Because
good.
LA's on fire right now.
That's where I was going with
What?
it. Though.
I
That's where I
made
was
the
going with
connection.
it. That's where I was
Yeah,
going
but
with
I had
it.
the guts to say it.
Yeah, I mean.
Okay, yeah, that's true. That's true. I would have
I
never.
thought you were gonna get in. I thought you were gonna be like, is it because of the LA? But
Nah, he cut me off. He cut me off to it. Yeah, he
no,
cut me off before I could say it.
No, yeah.
But
No
anyway,
hate to California.
No hate to
We're-
California,
You
but-
came up with titles.
We're
You came up
with
with
you.
the title with our
We're-
film.
We're with you. We're with you.
we're with you all the way, all the way.
Hopefully, Beyond Production has its office out there sooner or later.
Yes, hopefully, we're hoping that's the main goal.
Or we even film a movie out there, but like you know, if you're from
You want to pay
California,
those LA taxes? Are you kidding me?
I mean, at some point,
if you're from California though, and you wanna, where am I gonna go with that? If you wanna, what is that word we use?
collaborate.
Yeah. Hey, if you're from California and want to collaborate, hey, comment down below, messages on Instagram, or get in contact.
Yeah, and
And
like
not just California, anywhere, you know.
where we want to be global. Why not?
Take us to Canada.
Right.
I'm just kidding. Take us to the UK. Take us to Europe.
Thank you guys for coming back. Thank you for keeping our view count somewhat consistent. And just like you guys are consistent with us, we'll try to be consistent with you. As you see here, this is where it's going to be until hopefully we open our office, and who knows when.
Or studio.
Or a studio, yeah. But
But
if-
also-
Like, comment, share, follow,
But also,
subscribe.
but also comment down below what you guys want to see.
yes.
I'm still in the works. I'm debating if I want to do an idea that I had, which was have these two have like it's gonna be like not a game show, but like a segment of like I don't even know what the name is gonna be or anything, but I just want to have them try different things.
Yes.
I mean,
especially with Steven. I want to do something.
and it's not gonna be bad things. It's just gonna be like stuff. I mean, I'm glad TikTok's back because if I see a
Yeah.
trend or something, I mean, I'll
I
make you guys do
probably
it.
am the most opinionated.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you want to know, me and Richard were talking earlier when it brought my idea if I want to do that first. Because I'll do it with you guys for this one. I mean, I feel like most of the stuff, even though I'm the one hosting that part of the segment, I feel like I'm going to still be doing this stuff with you guys just because I'm going to feel left out. And I'll be like, I want to do it too. But I was talking to Richard because back then I used to be into different types of peppers. I want to do a pepper challenge. You ever seen the
Yeah.
pepper challenge
Yes.
from Alex was
Yeah.
I want to do something like that.
Like they
Where we spin a
increasingly
wheel.
go up. Yeah.
where we spin a
Oh,
wheel. We spin
that's
the
good,
wheel,
that's
and then
good.
you have to eat like the pepper it says.
No.
Come on, Steven, you have to.
You
Come
know
on.
I don't like spicy food.
It's
Okay, we'll have milk on standby. We'll
Yeah,
have
we'll
all
have-
the we'll have all
Oh,
the
that solves everything.
we'll find
Milk.
things.
we'll find all the reliefs for like heartburn, chest pains, like stomach issues, like Well, we got you, Steven. Don't worry.
It's in the works, guys.
It's in the works.
Comment down below what you guys want us to talk about. Just give us your guys' ideas. I mean, we have our own, but other than that, like Steven said, like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel.
And we'll see you in the next one. Thank you guys for coming. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.